Seems like every time we come back to Steven Universe, everything gets progressively heavier, doesn't it? I mean, the show's basically a full-blown drama at this point. So anyway, let's talk about the Great Diamond Authority. While it's true that we've met half of the often discussed diamonds, it's also true that in classic Steven Universe fashion, there's still plenty we don't know about the mysterious homeworld leaders. And one of the ones we know the least about is none other than the colonizer of Earth herself, Pink Diamond. While she's been mentioned pretty frequently, especially as of late, we still know almost nothing about her other than some murals or testimony from other characters. But the most shocking thing that we have heard is that she was shattered. Not only shattered, but destroyed by the leader of the crystal gems, Rose Quartz. Now, ever since learning this, there have been approximately 100 gazillion theories about what this could possibly mean. And if we talked about all of them, we'd be here all day. And probably all of tomorrow as well. So let's instead focus on one surfacing theory, which suggests that Pink Diamond was actually the catalyst of change that brought forth the Homeworld Rebellion and the Crystal Gems as a whole. However, not because she was a tyrant, but because she was actually the original founder of the rebellion. As was said earlier, since we've yet to meet Pink Diamond, there are 1,000,001 ways to interpret her role in the story. Tons of theories have been thrown out there, some have persisted, some have waned, some claim that Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz are actually the same person, and at the same time some claim that Pink Diamond is actually Lion. Point being, they're all over the place. But for today, we're gonna take a look at everything from a much more straightforward perspective. Assuming Pink Diamond is a separate being from everyone else we've met, and barring some revelation that says otherwise, there's a bunch of evidence that suggests Pink Diamond might have actually been more sympathetic to the rebellion than we might have thought. But first, let's take a look at the facts. Also, just a quick warning, this video is going to have spoilers up until the end of the episode, that will be all. As we all know, Homeworld is effectively governed by the Great Diamond Authority. Of this authority, we know of 4 diamond leaders: white, yellow, blue, and pink. This has become apparent to us due to all of the discussion about them in the show, as well as their insignia adorning multiple sites under Homeworld occupation. And most clearly, we've seen all 4 diamonds represented on the murals in the moon base in the episodes It Could Have Been Great and Back to the Moon. Now, let's put a pin in these murals, because we'll be coming back to them. While they are super important, the more pertinent info is dropped on us in the episode Back to the Moon by the Ruby Soldier Eyeball. Quote, "I saw it with my own eye. I saw the leader of the Crystal Gems, Rose Quartz, shatter Pink Diamond." To be fair, rubies are demonstrably pretty easily deceived. But the thing that's a lot more difficult to explain is Pearl's reaction. So the fact that Rose managed to shatter Pink Diamond seems almost irrefutable. So how can I stand here, tell you yes, Rose 100% shattered Pink Diamond, and then tell you that Pink Diamond was actually part of the very rebellion that shattered her? Well, in short, uprisings are complicated. And in long, well, here we go. Remember those murals on the moon base? They can give us a pretty good idea of where each diamond sits in the chain of command. As a spacefaring civilization, many fans have been quick to assume that each of the circles on the murals is meant to represent a planet or a moon that the gems have colonized. And yeah, that's a pretty reasonable assumption to make. So just by looking at how many colonies each diamond oversees, we can figure that at the top of the food chain we have White Diamond, with either 34 or 35 celestial bodies under her command, depending on if you want to count the one she's holding, which many fans have speculated could be Homeworld. After White Diamond, we have Yellow Diamond with 14, Blue Diamond with 8, and finally Pink Diamond with only 2, presumably the Earth and its moon. With this knowledge, we can infer that Pink Diamond is probably the lowest ranked diamond. This is also supported by Pink Diamond occupying the lowermost portion of the old diamond insignia. From here, depending on how far you want to stretch, we could come up with a motive for Pink Diamond to start a rebellion against Homeworld. Because of the limited amount of colonies under her control, some people have thought that maybe Pink Diamond was just young and held a different set of values. Maybe she just didn't agree with the Gem's ideology of terraforming and colonizing other planets, and only used Earth to build an army for her rebellion. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves with wild guesses like that, because the only thing we're basing this on is Pink Diamond's lack of colonies. We still have a much more serious question to be answered here. Why would Pink Diamond willingly allow herself to be shattered? Wouldn't a diamond be useful in the Gem War that was obviously about to transpire? This theory doesn't have any specific answers to that regard, but there are some that seem plausible. For example, it's possible she could have martyred herself to inspire revolution. Diamonds are pretty large, imposing forces, but here's a hypothetical scenario. Pink Diamond, acting through a prominent quartz soldier who shares a similar gem placement to Pink Diamond, quietly starts a rebellion on the down low. Do people still say that? I'm gonna say that. Pink Diamond then takes a dive and allows the courageous leader of the rebellion, Rose, to destroy her in a show of force. This sequence of events, or something similar, would send a message to the rebellion that they can do this. They can go face to face against the Diamonds and win. A bit of a dishonest approach, but in the end, what happened? The Crystal Gems came out on top against the armies of the Diamonds, effectively liberating Earth. Kind of, sort of. Other than the whole homeworld continuing experimentation and developing the cluster right under the Crystal Gems' noses, but whatever, it was fine. Everything was fine. And besides, there's still a ton we don't know about the Diamonds or healing factors or a lot about how the universe of Steven Universe functions. So it's also totally possible that even though Eyeball saw Pink Diamond get shattered, she could still be kicking somewhere else, or possibly as someone else. Okay, that was a lot. But at the same time, it kinda wasn't, right? The idea that Pink Diamond was the one to sow the seeds of rebellion is practically baseless at this point. But is there anything, particularly in the new episodes of this week's Steven Bomb, that can support these ideas? Okay, so lots of speculation involving this theory. And with a show like Steven Universe that's always throwing us for loops, that's all we can really do. There are some things in the new episodes that help this theory, but first, let's tie up some loose ends here. And one of the big ones is, what's the deal with Bismuth? We know from the episode of the same name that at some point during the rebellion, Bismuth created the Breaking Point, a weapon capable of instantly destroying, in her words, any gem in the galaxy. And while we're never specifically told it can shatter a diamond, it's possible that it could shatter them just as easily. It also happens to be a weapon that Rose outright refused to use, which makes sense based on what we know about how both she and her son value the gift of life. But this leads to two questions. One, how come Rose supposedly shattered Pink Diamond anyway without the use of the Breaking Point? And two, why keep the Breaking Point around after taking Bismuth out of the picture during the rebellion? To explain these questions away would be to assume a lot. But if Rose refused to use the Breaking Point, that would seem to support the theory that some sort of shenanigans were in play during Pink Diamond's shattering, to the point where she may not have been shattered at all. Why would Rose refuse to use a tool that would make the job easier unless she was never planning to shatter Pink Diamond in the first place? Meanwhile, Bismuth herself was bubbled by Rose most likely for being a loose cannon. Not only by attacking Rose, but possibly by moving to shatter Pink Diamond prematurely, before the time was most appropriate. Not to mention moving to shatter Pink Diamond at all, if the theory that Pink Diamond was never shattered is to be believed. As for why the Breaking Point was kept around, I have no idea. As much as Rose didn't want to use it, maybe it was kept as a last resort. War as hell. Okay, so let's move on to the new episodes. From Steven's dream onwards, we learn a lot about Yellow Diamond, Blue Diamond, and their relationship with Pink Diamond. White Diamond, however, is still MIA. In Steven's dream, we see that Blue Diamond is still actively mourning the loss of Pink Diamond. And just before snatching Greg, she claims to be saving a piece of Pink Diamond's legacy. When we learn that this quote means that Blue Diamond will in fact be sending Greg to a human zoo, we're supposed to think that Greg is going to be a prisoner of Blue Diamond. And this is a fair assumption to make considering the Diamond's attitudes towards humans. It's not great. But then, in the episode The Zoo, we see that the human zoo seems a lot less like a prison and a lot more like a wildlife preserve or sanctuary for humans. And we also learn that Blue Diamond took to maintaining this facility after Pink Diamond's death, most likely as a coping mechanism because she's still grieving. So if the zoo was actually Pink Diamond's originally, that's really interesting, because that information tells us a lot about Pink Diamond's attitude towards humans, especially when we compare those to another prominent gem figure from Earth. You know, the one who supposedly led the rebellion? Both Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz seem to have an expressed interest in preserving the life of humans, despite what the rest of the Diamond's agendas may be. And no matter what period or age or era we're talking about, Earth has never really been a subject of preservation for Yellow or Blue Diamond. The only reason Blue Diamond chose to take Greg to the zoo at all is because he showed up in the right place at the right time. Or the wrong place in the... It's because Greg was there. Blue Diamond has no interest in stopping the cluster or saving humanity. It was just a small token of respect to Pink Diamond that she saved him at all. But having said that, it's also true that in the episode That Will Be All, we're given some hints that suggest that Blue Diamond's actions may be heavily influenced by the much more uncompromising Yellow Diamond. And this claim holds up if we consult the Diamond chain of command we established earlier. While Yellow is grieving Pink's loss as well, she sees no worth in maintaining any sort of legacy. After hear the episode's song, it isn't crazy to think that Blue Diamond might lean more towards agreeing with Pink Diamond's philosophy of the preservation of life rather than rapid expansion, as well as unconditionally respecting the lives of others, most notably humans. Both Pink Diamond and Rose Quartz seem to have some misunderstandings about how humans work. While it's true that Rose became more accustomed to humans and their ways both through her time on Earth as well as her relationship with Greg, Pink Diamond's knowledge of humans is obviously a little harder to figure out. But based on the choosening ritual of the human zoo, Pink Diamond seemed to possess a slight misunderstanding regarding the nature of humans according to Steven and Greg. I'm not human, so I wouldn't know. These feelings, both the good and the misguided about humans, could have influenced the beliefs and ideologies of some of her soldiers on Earth. Most importantly, Rose Quartz. Going back to our earlier hypothetical scenario, Pink Diamond could have given Rose these ideas, prompting the beginning of the rebellion, and well, the rest is history. Whether Rose actually did shatter Pink Diamond or not. So we've looked at quite a few options today. Based on past tidbits and major details of the new episodes, we've explored how it's possible that Pink Diamond was actually a sympathizer of the Crystal Gem Rebellion. And furthermore, while Eyeball stated that Rose Quartz shattered Pink Diamond, we don't have too much solid evidence to back that up. If Pink Diamond was faking her death to inspire hope in the revolution, Pearl's reaction when recalling the incident in Back to the Moon can be explained by assuming that Rose Quartz and Pink Diamond were the only two in on whatever act they were trying to pull to make it look authentic. After all, Rose kept quite a few secrets from Pearl, despite what Pearl would like to believe. Furthermore, Pink Diamond's desire to keep a human zoo could have been due to the fact that she knew she couldn't stop the other diamonds from doing whatever they wanted to do with Earth. But she could do everything she could to save a part of that because she still valued that life, much like Rose. This is a major detail that supports the theory that Pink Diamond could have been a supporter of the rebellion. Of course, none of what we talked about is conclusive because that's just not the Steven Universe way. But with the developments of the last episodes, it seems really difficult to maintain the position that Pink Diamond wasn't a sympathizer of humans or the mission of the Crystal Gems. With that in mind, I'm going to rate the conspiracy of Pink Diamond being the true founder of the rebellion 3 Ruby soldiers floating through space out of 5. But what do you think? Do you think Pink Diamond is a Crystal Gem sympathizer? Do you have any other theories to Pink Diamond's role both on Homeworld and on Earth? And what do you think the next move of the Diamonds is going to be? Be sure to drop a comment below and let us know, and also make sure to leave us any conspiracies you'd like us to tackle at a later time. Until then, be sure to like this video, and if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe to ChannelFrederator for all sorts of awesome stuff, including more cartoon conspiracies. And remember, Frederator loves you.